Well, hello, and welcome back to Honkai Star Rail. Alright. I got some messages. Let's see what the messages say. Done. I've left mechanical fever. Don't bother me. Cascade, you read this? You remember the weapon storage you reported had something weird going on? I had a guard squad to head over and have a look, and they discovered something you might be interested in. It'd be better to speak face to face. I'll wait for you at the same old spot in the restricted zone. I'm coming. Vessel of Mediocrity, Part 2. Well, without further ado, let's do that. Wait, actually. Should do this first. Yes. All about Tamila. Alright. Let's see what the stalker wants again.
Are there other matters?
Okay, everything going well? Thanks to you, everything's going great. I can already see my dazzling figure on stage. One day I'm going to be just like her. Speaking of which, can you please help me out with just one little thing? There's more. There we go. There's more? Wait, what? Well, that cancel it. Oh, well, whatever. Go on. All this intel you've brought me is fantastic, but it's still second-hand info. And by the time it reaches me, it's already third-hand. Could you please go and see for yourself how Tamila looks when she's off stage? I heard that she's going to buy some more books today. Please, can you go to the bookstore and observe how she buys her books? Thank you so much. Why don't you just do it yourself? Oh, Tamila is gone. Alright, let's go see how she buys books. Sounds strange? Of course it does. I mean, observe how people buy books. Makes no damn sense. Hello, how do you buy your books? Long time no see, Fizz. Have you got any book recommendations for me today? Well, if it's something similar to Evening Amber at the Goethe Hotel that you're after, I'm afraid I've got nothing for you. No, that's okay. I don't really have to read that kind of novel. I decided to break out of my comfort zone recently and delve into some genres that I haven't read before. Perhaps it'll open up a pathway to a whole new world for me. That's the case. I heard the Tale of the Winterlands might be getting unbanned. You can read it then. I'll pass on that one. The last time when I was at the florist, she chewed my ear off all day about it. But her description was all over the place. All I remember is someone called Artem and his blazing sincere love. It made me kind of gloomy. Are we talking about the same Tale of the Winterlands here? Assume so, yes. You have any new books? Nope. Alright. Alright, I might just read the rest of the Tale of the Winterlands. Or maybe I'll save it for next time. I'll see how much time I have left at the end of this stream. Might just do it then. Hello. Everything about Tamila. Oh, I see. I have a deeper understanding of Tamila now. Thank you. Here's a token of my appreciation. Your Highness, Your Highness, you must shield yourself from all mirrors of the world, even the serene lakes. You must ask for her true name and banish that duplicitous succubus. Talk about yourself. Alright, this. Alright, let's do a Crimson Calyx. Let's do a destruction. Destruction? I do need destruction. Preservation. Preservation I don't really need. Nihility. Maybe. This is harmony. Harmony, of course, I need, but I think I might just stick with erudition. So definitely need erudition, but also really need destruction. You know what? Let's just go with destruction. Okay. Wait. Okay. I can just grab a Sally. And she can help me blast through them all. Preferably a level 81, because they're usually equipped. Alright. Auto battle. Yeah, good nuts.
Rules are made to be broken.
Alright. So, oh, it's actually pretty loud. Is it? So like that first.
Nap time.
Your end approaches.
So 4.0's
Savor it for me.
trailer and live stream just came out for Genshin Impact. That's pretty nice.
Who's next?
It's real interesting, I gotta say. Don't know what the hell's going on. That's the good thing about it. I like the surprise. What else should I talk about?
Rules are made to be broken. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Failed to send you.
Who's next?
Well, for the channel, I think every Friday I'm gonna keep going with
Disappear among the
Detective
sea of
Case.
butterflies. Illusions
I'm not gonna
of
say the whole name because I can't be bothered and can't remember it.
Rules are made to be broken.
I'm gonna keep trying with that.
Savor it for me.
What else do I want to talk about?
Who's next?
Yeah, it's basically that.
The fight.
I'm gonna keep cycling through Genshin, Honkai Impact, and Star Rail. 3 days.
Just a scratch.
I'm about to be caught up with Honkai Impact 3rd.
Savor it for me.
And when I'm all caught up, I'll dedicate like a stream or two to actually viewing all the version trailers, character trailers.
Disappear among the sea of
Should be
butterflies. Illusions of
enough
the
for one
past.
stream,
Rules
maybe.
are made to be broken.
Can I even go through all the cutscenes again to try and decipher what they really mean? Because I don't get it. Well, some of them.
Failed to send you.
Who's next?
Savor it for me.
Anyway, let's turn this thing back up.
Your end approaches.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
6 out of 6. Slow it on down.
Failed to stand you.
Time for a shot.
Unnecessary.
So you are afraid of me. Who's next?
This Sally is weak. Well, compared to the other Sallys.
So you are afraid of me. I'll end your
Oh, whatever, you
misery.
can't get everything.
That's better.
Unnecessary. A blade knows no mercy. Failed to stand you.
Battle over. Okay. Not using that Sally again. Alright. So this is all done. Very good. Have enough time. Mary Mystery Trotter, right done. There's a Fantastic done. Aptitude Staircase done. Companion missions, these. Simulated Universe. Oh, you know what? I could do Simulated Universe. Anywho. I might just do Simulated Universe next time because I already have 12,000. So yeah. Next time. Anywho, not in the Great Mine. Oh, this thing again. You know what? Sure, why not? You have become a superstar in the underworld and have caught the attention of thousands of miners. Throughout Belobog's history, no one else has mastered the art of directing minecarts as quickly as you. Even though you are only supposed to be an assistant instructor. What is a minecart? Where does it come from? Where should it go? Those are the holy trinity of questions that haunt all miners. You are only one step away from uncovering the answer. The answer to this question is embedded deep into the final test that the senior minecart operator has prepared for you. Let's see what he has in store for you. Let's do this since it's freaking easy. So freaking easy. Who could ever fail this? Huh? Who could ever fail this? Huh? Oh, whatever.
You're finally here. I've been waiting. Today is your final test. Are you up for it?
I got this.
If you were my apprentice, I probably could have retired a long time ago. Anyway, let's begin. Watch carefully, girl. The blocker with the yellow light on is the stop for the loaded minecarts. If a minecart needs to look, yeah, whatever.
Same shit. Reverse first, then go forward. Get it this time. No, I don't need no reset. What do you think, I'm a screw? You think I'm a screw? A screw? Huh. We'll move this one first, actually. Push. No, no, that won't work. Okay. Still like this first then. Get out of here. This thing should be cleared to go, right? Yeah. go. Very good. Let's prepare the road for this one. Load. And off you go. Challenge completed.
That's good. Great. You've got a real brain on you. Here you are, your reward for this puzzle. And on to the next one. Your order's over there. Go take a look.
Look at this stuff, man. Look at this stuff. Master has a new puzzle. Go ask him about it if you're interested.
Great. The venue's all sorted. Are you up for the next challenge?
Let's go.
Nice, the spirit. Let's begin. Watch carefully, the girl. Carefully, girl.
Alright. That means it should stay there. I think if I switch it like this, it should be okay. Should be able to fit. Alright, off you go. Yeah. Let's switch this. Push this along. Oh, actually went all the way in. Okay. Let's push it back out. Switch track. Okay, that's done. And this should be done. See, that one didn't even have to move. Easy. Too easy. Ah, darn it. I forgot to transfer the Geomarrow over. How do you reverse this? How do you reverse?
Huh. My girl is pretty amazing.
Well, now I'm your girl? Huh?
Here's your reward. And now the final part of the puzzle.
But at what cost? I mean, but at what cost? Oh, whatever.
Great. The venue's all sorted. Are you up for the next challenge?
Let's go.
Now's the spirit. Now's the spirit. Let's begin.
Watch carefully. Yellow is for loaded. Load, unload. Alright. What did the master say that this light means again? Alright. That's how it should go. Push. Let's load this one up. Oops. Load it up. Push the minecart. Okay. Now I want you to go and get your fill. We need to switch this track. Ah, shit. Okay, once it goes here, then I need to switch it and make it go somewhere else. Because there's not enough space there. Alright, we'll switch this. And we go over, switch this. And we switch this. Should do. Alright, I'm ready for my real wheel.
Outstanding. Your gift is really hard to come by. Your skills as a minecart operator really are first class. After seeing your amazing skills, my useless apprentice has been feeling the heat. He's been better behaved recently, and is willing to put more effort into the hands-on stuff. This is all thanks to you.
I was just doing my job. Hope your apprentice graduates soon. So, am I qualified to be a supervisor?
Being able to operate minecarts isn't enough by itself, but you're more than qualified to replace this brat.
Huh. Well, I've finished my training. You can just go home and lie down, old man.
You brat, watch your mouth. Don't be a troublemaker when you get a job. And if you ever mess up on the job, don't tell anyone that I train you. Young miss, you've been a lot of help these days. I guess we'll meet again in the future, whenever fate wills it so.
Sisyphus of the mines.
Oh miss, yeah.
Huh. I finished my training. Oh, okay. Well, that's that. Let's move on. Vessel of Mediocrity. And then Ancestor's Drill Bit. And then I'll probably do all these quests, probably Natasha. Yeah. Vessel of Mediocrity. Find done. Actually, what does I say? Dunn pings your message, claiming to have found something interesting back where you solved the box puzzles. Go to the Silverman Guard restricted zone and chat with him. See if Dunn's clues can help you understand Cyril a little better. That's true. Didn't know anything about her, except that she was labeled a fool. And it's probably because of this Mr. Stefan. Right? Yeah. You said that you found something in the warehouse?
My Silvermane Guard squad never found anything strange in the warehouse other than a few weird letters. We scanned them over, but nobody had any idea about what they said. I think you might be able to get something out of them. Why don't I leave these with you? Ah yes, I checked up on that Stefan character you mentioned. There's no record of him among our registers, including retired Silvermane Guards and veterans. Looks like I won't be able to help you out. If you want to conduct your own follow-up investigation, I wish you all the best.
Cyril, an old letter. Well. Well, I didn't press it in time. I guess I'm going back to the parlor. Okay, it's in Ayarilo 6. Tale of the Winterlands, I'll read that later. Cyril. An old letter. Cyril. I've been caught up in some complications and I can't be there with you. Oh, this must be Stefan, Mr. Stefan. I beg your forgiveness and hope that you always remember the distance between us in space will not shake my loyalty one bit. No matter what difficulties you face, you can always turn to me for help. I know you must be nervous right now, Cyril, but I hope you can remember what I warned you before. Don't be intimidated by loud and empty threats. As long as you stand firm and follow my advice at all times, any pushback or complaint is just temporary white noise, something that will fade away as we draw closer to the end of the plan, and ultimately become a picture painted together by us. I sometimes still think of when I met you, more than 10 years ago. You were a timid little girl back then too shy to talk, and lacking confidence in yourself. But I found something special in you, a one-of-a-kind temperament that even a genius like Cyrilla doesn't have, sister. And it's precisely because of this unique talent of yours that I decided to stay with you and help you build up the beautiful future that you deserve. As for your sister, Cyrilla, unfortunately I haven't been able to find any clues about her whereabouts. I understand how important she is to you, so I'll keep sparing no effort in my search operation. Even without the slightest progress over more than 10 years, I still don't want to give up hope. And I hope you don't give up either. Finally, I'd like to offer my most sincere advice once more. Don't trust those opportunists in your ear telling you black is white and vice versa. Now definitely use my absence to try and get close to you and control your mind. You have to build a solid barrier and resist their scheming noises. Remember, Cyril, you just have to trust me. I would never lie to you. Your sincerest friend, Stefan. Cyril the Fool. I think they've been lying to her. There's no follow-up quest for that, right? No. So, I guess if I just go through here, I might be able to spot like a quest marker. Great Mine, nope. Mortar Town, nope. Everwinter Hill, yes. There it is. So this is Cyril? These monsters? Oh no. What'd they do to you, Cyril? Guardian Shadow. So this is Cyril. Man, that's quite a backstory for a freaking monster. Enemy. not speaking. This thing seems a little different from the other fragmentum creatures. She doesn't seem to have any desire whatsoever to attack. Perhaps I can avoid a tough fight? Who are you? Are you talking to me? Do I still have to fight? I'm a goner. Yep, let's be a pessimist. Hello, Danny. I don't mean trouble. I haven't seen a stranger in a long time. Mr. Stefan is gone. They've all gone. Everyone. The people I trusted. The people I was close to. They've all left me. This city has abandoned me. Stefan? I remember that name. Could she be... Is that you, Cyril? Do you know me, stranger? You... Did Mr. Stefan send you to meet me? Like, yes, he told me to come and save you. Sorry, I don't know him. Psst, lie all the time. No, you don't have his scent. Nobody is coming here for me anymore. I'm not smart enough, not strong enough, not independent enough. But I know all that. I've been lying to myself all this time and living that way for so long. I'm so tired of it. You, stranger, I don't understand. How do you know my name? Never mind. I don't want to get into it any further. Too much questioning will only lead to more pain. It's always been the case. You're my only witness, the final witness. That fact alone is comforting enough, knowing that I don't have to wander around in eternal loneliness. What can I do for you? What are you talking about right now? I have a favor to ask. I want to know why my fate is like this. I guess the answer is sealed in here, but there's nothing I can do about it. Will you help me, stranger? If you can help me find the answer, I'll tell you everything there is about me. No secrets. My story may not be that interesting, but perhaps you'd like to hear it, right? I hope you do. I'll help you. I want to hear your story. If I say no... I was afraid you'd say that, but I can't force you. I would never force anyone to do anything. Maybe I just have to keep waiting around, waiting for the next witness. He'll probably never come. Sorry, I'll help you out. I'll help you, even if it's just out of sympathy. Really? Thank you. I got no place to go. I'll be waiting for you here. If you want to give up, that's okay. I'm just a shadow, and I'm not able to begrudge anyone, even if they trick me, and I don't feel sad either.
So that's how it works.
The banality of evil. Oh, look at that. Very nice. Hello, Guardian Shadow. I see the truth now. Thank you, stranger. You've shown me the truth, stranger. I don't know how to repay this kindness. As you can see, I can't exactly do anything right now. But at least I can fulfill my previous promise to you and tell you my story. Would you like to stop and listen? You don't have to. Now, this is my final wish. Mr. Stefan will agree. I'm Cyril, Supreme Guardian of Belobog. I know I don't deserve to be in such a high position. If it weren't for my sister going off then for no reason at all, I'd never have been able to take this path. Luckily, I have Mr. Stefan by my side. He is my teacher and dear friend. He's given me countless pieces of valuable advice and helped me through crisis after crisis. Why do you linger around here? What's your connection to the box puzzles? They are the end of my life. The reason I'm lingering around here may be connected with my confusion about the cause of my death. But you helped remove any element of confusion, and I can finally face my destiny. I was born a fool and died from my foolishness. I failed everyone who ever put their faith in me. I failed to uphold the duty and prestige of a supreme guardian. I slipped and fell into that open box, ending my life in a way that's destined for ridicule. You fell into a box? Perhaps at the end of my life, I was caught up in a vortex of shame, but I've wandered in this purgatory far too long to feel any sadness or shame. All I want now is peace. Stranger, I can feel your power. Compared to my cowardice, you exude such a strong, calm aura. I beg you for one last piece of generosity. I hope you can bless me with everlasting peace. I understand what you mean. I can't do it. Not for free anyway. She wants me to bonk her? Are you going to leave me behind? Just leave me here in this endless void? Well, maybe someone like me doesn't deserve to be saved. Farewell, stranger. Have you changed your mind, stranger? Still can't bring myself to do it. I'll give you the peace you deserve. Sure. Thank you. Thank you for leaving me with this one shred of dignity.
Just a scratch.
Do you really have to fight back?
Bring the wind.
To the clouds.
The wind is rough.
From the bow. That hurt.
The fight is set. Too little.
Let's make it
Nice.
quick. Rules are made to be broken.
Smack 'em all.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
skill
Spirit
punishment.
never dies.
I will dispatch you. Fail to stand you.
Not in that time.
This is our chance. I can take it. Gale Force.
A blade knows no mercy. That paradox. Savor it for me.
That's better.
Much better.
Fail to stand you.
Let's go.
I will dispatch you.
Yeah, ended with a bonk. Thank you, stranger. I'm sorry, Mr. Stefan. I'm not who you're looking for. Zero's echoes dissipate amidst the howling of the icy wind. A golden ornament remains on the ground, quietly waiting for you to pick it up. Pick up Cyril's relic. Should I even touch this? It shouldn't be a big deal. It's only reasonable to take home some rewards out for finishing all these missions. So Cyril was actually a Supreme Guardian. How unbelievable. How can these echoes of hers be so powerful that they took on human form in the Fragmentum? And why was it accompanied by all those weird box puzzles? Oh, she died in a box. I should take her relic back to the overworld. There must be someone who knows about Cyril's past as a Supreme Guardian. Yeah, like Bronya? Or even Pela. Pela would know. The Birth of Tragedy. Alright, it's not gonna say, right? I'm just gonna have to find it. Well, I think at this time, that would not have actually existed. So let's go to Bronya directly. She'll definitely know.
It's getting late. Where to now?
Clipoth Fort. Hey, Bronya. Got anything about this? Actually, is it in my inventory? Let's see. I don't see it. Oh well, whatever. You're still here, Cascade. Despite Bellbog, yep. You have time to chat? That's not here. Oh, Pela. Pela? Year 301, year 302. Specific Archives of Fortification, year 2032 are in order. Next should be Fortification year 233. What are you doing? Miss Pela? Please don't. When did you get here? I just got here. Huh, did I give you a fright? Do you need help in organizing the archives on the bookshelf? Yeah, because you're so short. I can reach them. Thanks for your concern. Well, please don't do that again. Which year was it just now? Forget it. It's time to take a break after all the work. I'll keep you company then. What can I do for you? Oh, the wanted posters. Oh, you know what? Why not? You take a look at these wanted posters. Wanted posters? What are those for? Haven't these been removed yet? I mean, what the heck is the captain up to? I have never seen these before in my life. What wanted posters? Never heard of them. You can take those away. Keep them or whatever you want. Goodbye. Hang on. I've something to ask you. Who painted these wild portraits? Captain Gepard did. Don't ask me who painted the rest. I don't know. Hurry up and move along. I'm busy. Goodbye. Who painted these magnificent portraits? I don't know. They're so beautiful. Who could it be? I'd love to know. You really have no idea? Are you sure it's not you? Alright, I'm not asking anyway. You sure it's not you? How'd you know? No, I said nothing. Don't look at me like that. I confess to everything. These wanted posters, I painted them. Are you happy? Of course I am, they're nice. No way, why haven't you painted one of me? Exactly. You're asking too much. I never painted you because I forgot what you looked like. Well, you want to do it now? Sorry. You're saying I'm forgettable? Well, I've already said far too much. Please don't tell anyone else. Only us two can know about this. Please. Why are we on this wanted list? Because you tried to overthrow Belobog, remember? Just kidding. I know you're innocent, but after all that, Captain Gepard should have had your arrest warrants cancelled by now. Let's submit an application for it in person. Anyway, I'll check in with him later to confirm everything's okay. It'd be terrible if there were any outstanding warrants that weren't revoked. Alright. Maybe I should talk to her about the rest of the stuff. Who put these Belobog Chronicles here? Better not let me catch you. I know you're standing behind me. Won't let you scare me this time. So what brings you here? How's the matter regarding the corrupt guards? Oh, that's been taken care of properly. Those captured are merely small fries. After making their confessions, they were sent to the Silvermane Guard military court to be court-martialed. I've dispatched some guards to assist the Minister of Justice in the investigation of this corruption case. This is the one with Molly. The Minister handles cases with an iron fist, so I suppose it won't be long before they get to the bottom of this. Anyway, we've done everything we need to. There's no need to worry about what happens next. You're an great intelligence officer. We're amazing. Yeah, we. Modesty means nothing to you, huh? Anyway, your help has played a crucial role in this matter. We really appreciate it. Still, please bear in mind that with great power comes great responsibility. I'll come to you if I'm in trouble again. I'd like to have a chat with you. What does an intelligence officer do? I collect battlefield intelligence, extract useful information, and sort them out. The information will be used to formulate strategies and tactics for the Silvermane Guards. Besides assisting work at the front line, I also help Gepard to manage military affairs. In other words, my job involves a lot of thinking. Sounds challenging, sounds easy. Sounds like your job scope doesn't include organizing bookshelves. Yes. I knew you would say that. Organizing bookshelves is certainly not part of my job. It's just volunteer work. Can you tell me the details about your job? Unfortunately, the details are the top secret of the Silvermane Guards, or more accurately, of Belobog. How's your relationship with Gepard? Captain Gepard is a very reliable person, as far as carrying out his public duties is concerned. As for the other aspects of his life, I can only say he's hopeless. There's so many things he can do better, be it maintaining his weapon or his appearance. Even as unkempt as he is still, for some reason, able to give several life advice. The relationship between these siblings is puzzling even to an intelligence officer like myself. How's your relationship with Serval? Serval is, of course, my best friend. We've even formed a band together. She's the guitarist and vocalist while I'm the drummer. I often visit her workshop after work. If Lynx is there, I'd stay the night, as I live alone. There are times I find it boring to stay at home. That's all for now. Let's carry on later.
Alright. She did not have the info I needed. Maybe at this time, I would not be able to enter Clipoth Fort. And so, the only other person who would probably know something
is this office worker here. Administrative official, Manya. You again? I just said I'm on break. Fine. So what exactly do you want to know? Do you know the Supreme Guardian Cyril? Do you mean Cyril, the fool? Of course. I mean, anyone who studied a little history has heard of her, right? What made you suddenly interested in this piece of ancient history? I don't have the time for random trivia right now. There's a huge stack of documents on my desk waiting for my approval. I found something. I brought something back from Cyril. Is this some kind of sick joke? Okay, I guess. Taking a look won't rob me of much time. What is it? Let me have a check, would you? It's this. I'm flabbergasted. You might have just found an incredible antique item. Based on the Belobog conventions for the preservation of ancient relics, any antiques found by civilians must be turned over to the architects for proper preservation. I will have to hold on to this ornament that you found. What? This is robbery in plain sight. Then what's in it for me, huh? Yeah, I'm not even a citizen. Not even, well, civilian. No, sort of, but... yeah, it's robbery. Relax. I won't leave you empty-handed. I'm highly confident that this thing is an authentic relic. I'm sure you'll be compensated handsomely. Just not by me. That's right. Do you know much about Belobog's history? You can find out more about Cyril the Fool in this pamphlet. Take it as a souvenir from the administrative department. They just have a pamphlet of her? Really? The Fool. Cyril the Fool. Cyril, often called Cyril the Fool by later generations, is the 8th Supreme Guardian of Belobog. Cyril was born in a remote suburb of the Belobog overworld. Orphaned as a young girl, she lived with her sister Cyrilla, who's 1 year older than her. Cyril's childhood was rather uneventful. However, her sister Cyrilla was a child prodigy, displaying amazing proficiency at an early age for language, math, and logic. Cyrilla passed the public service test when she was 11 and was officially selected as an heir to the Supreme Guardian. However, just on the eve, as the architects were about to relocate her residence to Clipoth Fort, she mysteriously disappeared. After days of searching without luck, most architects want to give up the search and start their heir selection process anew. But the Minister of Internal Affairs, Stefan Marquez, was firmly opposed, and strongly pushed for Cyrilla's sister Cyril to take over as heir to the Supreme Guardian. Is the Minister of Internal Affairs. Stefan Marquez claimed that during his long-term contact with the two sisters, he discovered that Cyril was as talented as her sister. Moreover, delaying the heir selection process any longer would impact Belobog's political stability, due to the recency of the Supreme Guardian's untimely death. After heated internal debate, the architects finally approved Stefan's proposal, allowing Cyril to become the new heir. History has shown us that Cyril's appointment was a carefully planned hoax by the Minister of Internal Affairs, Stefan Marquez. I knew it! The architects quickly realized that Cyril was extremely mediocre compared to her sister Cyrilla, and was clumsy in social situations. Minister Marquez's power grew stronger by the day during Cyril's tenure, and his thugs soon retained absolute discretion throughout the Clipoth Fort as they issued their draconian decrees. The nickname Cyril the Fool spread throughout the people, and they grew more and more dissatisfied with this puppet Supreme Guardian and her ministerial allies. In the 14th year of her tenure, rebels among the architects hatched a secret plot to overthrow Stefan and his cronies. The rebels won over Silvermane Guard's captain and planned on luring Cyril and Stefan to the Silvermane Guard restricted zone, where they could launch a coup. That day, the Supreme Guardian Cyril attended the military exercise as expected, but the rebels never found any trace of Stefan Marquez. The captain played them at their own game, dispatching a fake patrol of Silverman guards into the restricted zone with Cyril, and pushing her into an arsenal closet. The guards then rushed to the far north of Belobog and, under cover of darkness, shoved the unconscious Supreme Guardian in the arsenal chest over the edge of the cliff. The rebels carried out a search operation for 3 days and 3 nights in Belobog, but never found any trace of Minister Stefan Marquez. To this day, people still attribute the death of the 7th Supreme Guardian and the disappearance of Cyrilla to Marquez's political conspiracy, a claim that, according to Belobog historians, to this day remains inconclusive and unproven. Oh, so yeah, she is dead in a box. Yes. Oh shit. I knew that Stefan was a scheming bastard. But I did not expect that to be the end for Cyril. Poor Cyril. But what can you do? Anyway. Well, thank you. Assignment, not yet. Okay. So, I'm gonna make these, Natasha's quests, kind of, priority. Let's do this one. Origin of the medicine. You receive a message from Oleg, who hopes you can visit Natasha and see what she's up to. Every day she works tirelessly to look after the patients, so Oleg hopes you can offer her some help. Well, she is the leader after all. Let's get it.
It's getting late. Where to now?
Hey, Natasha. There's 2 Natashas now. Very nice. Need any help, Dr. Natasha?
You came at a good time. There is something you can help me with. According to my patient records, there are a few that haven't come for their follow-up visits. It happens from time to time, but never as regularly as this. I'm a bit concerned. Have you heard of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society?
Never. Sounds like a charitable organization. Sounds suspicious. Complex Illness Mutual Aid. What's with the mutual aid?
I agree. Generally speaking, mutual aid societies like these allow patients to share their experiences and support each other. It's a way of countering all the negative emotional effects of being ill. But there might be more to this society than that. I've got a few patients who have started refusing treatment since joining the society. It certainly makes you wonder.
Is this a cult?
The most suspicious part is that no matter how much I ask, no one's ever willing to tell me anything about it. And that's where you might be able to help.
It's Fight Club, isn't it? Got it. You want me to go undercover? Do I need to be ill before I can make inquiries? What should I do? There's 2 teams. Maybe I should be ill, yeah.
That won't be necessary. But it will help if you pretend to be a patient. Help me investigate this so-called mutual aid society and find out exactly what they're up to. If I find out they're preventing me from doing my job, or if they're bringing harm to my patients, I won't just sit on the sidelines. Can I entrust you with this task?
No problem. Leave it to me. Have I ever refused you? Yeah, that's a genuine question. I don't remember. Have I ever refused you?
You're as considerate as always. This little clinic has huge numbers of patients to deal with every day. If I didn't have you here to help me out, I wouldn't be able to focus on giving them quality care. Good luck. I'll be sure to thank you properly when you're back.
It's nice to have voice acting after a bit. Hello. Okay, wouldn't have anything new to say. Talk to the first patient who skipped the follow-up visit. Depressed patient.
You. I've seen you in the clinic. You run errands for Natasha, right?
Yes. Well, there goes my cover. Who's Natasha? Should I play dumb? Or should I just give up? Let's just play dumb.
Don't play dumb. I might be sick, but my eyes still work. Let me guess. Natasha wants you to persuade me to go back for a follow-up visit, right? What's the use? I'm terminal. Life will be over before I know it.
Terminal? Was that Natasha's diagnosis?
Of course not. I read it in a book.
You can read.
Every book I read has descriptions that match my symptoms exactly. I can diagnose myself with a dozen incurable diseases before I get halfway through.
Self-diagnosis is not a very
a follow-up
accurate
visit
thing.
is just a waste of time and money. Not to mention medicine.
Are you serious? So, nothing to do with you joining the mutual aid society then? Yeah.
Mutual aid what now? What are you talking about? What else is there to say? Natasha was seeing me free of charge. She said I could keep a tab running for as long as I liked, then pay it back when I had the opportunity. I guess I'm too proud.
Money's one thing, but life... Appearances are more important than life, I feel you. Yeah. Pride over your health any day.
Are you making fun of me? Have at it. You won't change my mind. Dr. Vash never charged me anything either.
Dr. Vash.
Natasha's great, but Vash was always my number one.
Number one? Who's Dr. Vash?
Natasha's brother.
Oh,
They both used to
brother.
practice medicine back in Rivertown. I heard he was a top student from the Overworld Medical Academy. Bellabog's main hospital wanted him. I have no idea what convinced him to set up down here. A kind heart, maybe.
Free medical care? I don't believe it.
What do you mean? Dr. Vash was a people's doctor. He handed out free medicine. He even followed up with detailed questions on how he felt. The underworld is always short on medical resources. They say that Dr. Vash made all his own medicine himself.
Why don't you go to him anymore? Maybe he doesn't exist anymore, since Natasha's never talked about him.
You think I don't want to? I heard that he
Yes.
passed away. I should keep my voice down. Don't go telling anyone else about this next bit.
What about the first bit? I won't.
I heard that Natasha had something to do with Dr. Vash's death.
Ah,
They say she was jealous that her brother had stolen her patients, so she...
how scandalous. And you believe that? It's not possible.
Hey, it's just a rumor.
Well, it's not impossible.
Don't take my word for it. Forget I said anything. Since Dr. Natasha sent you over specially, I'll do her a favor. I'll go to the clinic for my follow-up a little later. Bye for now.
Well, that is true. Natasha did have
Avoiding
a
a
brother.
follow-up visit due to money issues. I should find another patient to talk to.
So even in this world, Natasha's brother is dead. Elderly patient.
28, 29.
30.
What was that? Oh, you'll have to be louder. My ears aren't what they used to be. Everything's muffled.
30. I want to ask you why you're not going to your follow-up visit.
Ah, a follow-up visit. Is that what what you're asking about.
Yes.
Natasha's a wonderful girl. She always gives me a thorough checkup. But at this age, it's rather a lot to bear. Even if they could cure me. I'm sure I wouldn't be around for long. I don't want to waste anyone's time.
Waste their time? There's no time wasted where health is concerned, right? You should listen to Dr. Natasha.
That girl's always trying to get me to take my medicine on time.
28.
I know her heart's in the right place. My husband had the same illness as me, but he never touched the medicine. He wanted to make sure I had enough.
Oh.
Then, one day, he said he needed to take care of some things at the mine. He never came back. He was forever saying he wanted to go before I did. Ah, selfish old fool. I miss him. Now that he's gone, who cares how long I stick around?
Don't you have any kin? Or any children or any grandchildren? I'm sure he's up there caring right now. Dr. Natasha's care. Natasha cares. I care. Yeah, sure. Just met you, but I care.
You don't give up easily, do you? Still. You're full of kind words. Okay, you win. It's off for another follow-up visit with Dr. Natasha, I suppose. Did you want to say something else? My ears are terrible.
Have you heard of the Mutual Aid Society?
Virtual who?
Mutual Aid Society!
All right, I heard you. You have to shout. No, I've never heard of any mutual aid society.
So,
Avoiding a follow-up visit due to her husband. I should find another patient to talk to.
so where'd this Mutual Aid Society come from, I wonder? Hello, suspicious patient, huh?
Why haven't I gone for my follow-up visit? Are you a patient too, or did Dr. Natasha send you over?
You sound familiar. Are you Peak? What makes you say that? You're pretty sharp.
Who else would care about people like me? I don't need Dr. Natasha's help now. Tell her to save her worries and medicine for other people.
Okay. Did you have a dispute with her? I'm through seeing her too. Yeah.
Huh, so you had a dispute with her.
What, no?
She's the only kind-hearted doctor in the underworld. I just don't really approve of her methods, that's all. Too
Approve of her
idealistic,
methods.
and no real efficacy. She tries to save everyone, which means she can't save anyone. In the end, it's the patients who suffer, and she just tires herself out. Miners like me don't have time for lengthy treatments. If I can't take something and get right back to work, I may as well lie down and wait for death to come knocking. Did you, know Dr. Vash? His wonder medicine is cheap, and the results are immediate. You just need to, be willing to, take a little risk.
Take a little risk. Risk?
Dr. Vash's medicine is different. Lots of people make a full recovery after taking it, but some get worse. And the unlucky ones check out early.
Well,
Even knowing the risk, most people fight tooth and nail to get hold of the medicine. You know why?
well, because they can't afford to take the lengthy treatments like you said, they need the money. They're willing to gamble with their life. I have no idea, actually. None.
You've clearly never been in really dire straits. When life forces you to the edge, you'll throw yourself at any opportunity. even if it means risking it all. For people like us, a slow and torturous treatment is the same as a death sentence. If it's between that and a quick result, we'll take the latter. Forget it. Why am I telling you all this? Dr. Vash is dead anyway.
Where can I go to get this wonder medicine? What if I told you I agreed with you? Yeah, where can I get this wonder medicine?
What? Now you're interested in the wonder medicine?
Yeah, all of a sudden.
The Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society is still selling that medicine. I can tell you where they trade, but there's a rule.
Not allowed to talk about it.
You must not tell any of this to Dr. Natasha, you hear? If you break the rule, you'll face the consequences. Here, take this. It's the
What's
address.
the consequence?
A final warning. Do not reveal this information to Natasha.
I know where to find the wonder medicine. What should I do next? That patient didn't want me to tell Natasha about this. Should I listen to him?
Let's tell Natasha first. Let's investigate the wonder medicine and address first. Might have something to do with her brother. So, let's investigate the wonder medicine address first, right? Yes. It's in Rivet Town. I have to go into the fragmentum to get it? Is that the risk? Hey, Pascal. Oh. Hey, bro. Hello. I have an invitation.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
In there. To buy medicine from the Mutual Aid Society. Just taking a walk.
In the fragmentum? Give me a break. You're the same as everyone else that comes through here. If you want medicine, you don't need to go any further. You talk to me. And we only take cash. This ain't a charity.
I heard the medicine here is pretty cheap. What if a patient doesn't have the money?
No money? Then you don't get any. You go home and wait for death.
Oh, shit.
Say, what are you trying to pull here? If you can't afford it, then get out of my sight. I've got medicine to sell.
How much is it worth?
Your clothes. Are you friends with that doctor woman? I've seen you at the clinic before. I know it. Get lost, now. If you're a friend of that woman, then you're not welcome here. Shop's closed today. No customers.
Wait. What about our medicine? We've been waiting for ages.
Get lost, all of you. Save your breath and come back some other time.
Maybe I should change my clothes.
That I should head back and report to Natasha.
Get lost, now. If you're a friend of that woman, then you...
This is all your fault. How are we supposed to get our wonder medicine now? You should leave. If you stay here, that guy might not ever sell to us again.
Okay. Looks like my cover was blown due to my clothes.
It's getting late. Where to now?
Hello. I found out where they sell their medicine. And I reported to you immediately. Explain what you found out about the Mutual Aid Society.
So the Mutual Aid Society found Vash's research results, and now they're selling this so-called wonder medicine to patients? Any organization doing something like this is interested in more than just mutual aid.
I'm interested in money. The patients wanted me to keep it a secret from you. The patient said he was willing to take the risk.
As a doctor, I don't accept that. I'm responsible for their well-being. My attitude towards this wonder medicine won't change. What Vash left behind is nothing more than reagents and experimental byproducts. The word medicine doesn't apply here. I warned the patients countless times, but seems like they had their heads in the sand all along. No wonder they kept the Mutual Aid Society a secret from me. I'm guessing the patients you met weren't exactly singing my praises, which is why you tracked the dealer down and made inquiries first. I don't blame you. After everything you heard, I'm grateful you came back to find me. Your trust is important to me. If you're curious about Vash's wonder medicine, you should ask some of the patients in the clinic. See what they have to say about the effects.
They've taken it before. Oh, hello, I've seen you here. Hello.
Some people say that Dr. Vash was a saint who came from the overworld to help those in need. I don't buy it. People's doctor.
Sound like Kafka.
Just what people who've bought into the myth like to say. Vash used to distribute free medicine all the time, but he couldn't have cared less about the people taking the medicine. The hard truth is that we were just his test subjects. It didn't matter if the medicine worked or not. What mattered was having a constant stream of willing lab rats. Of course, I can't control what anyone else thinks. That's just how I see it.
But is it true, though? Man, saying Vash is a bad guy?
The medicine Vash left behind? That stuff... Can you even call it medicine? I know Dr. Natasha's here, but I have to tell it like it is. Vash had zero medical ethics. He didn't deserve the title doctor. He may have had the capability, but he didn't use it to help anyone. Whenever I went to see him, he never even asked about my illness. He just prescribed me his so-called wonder medicine. If it were you, would you have taken that medicine?
Yes. Since I took the pill that, Dan Shu gave me. Hey, Natasha. Apparently they don't like, your brother.
I still haven't worked out how to convey it to you. The issues surrounding Vash. My relationship with him. The things he's done in the underworld. It's a long story. I'm guessing you've heard a lot of different opinions on Vash. What do you make of him?
He's a saint. I think he was a doctor with zero medical ethics. It's tough for me to say. I think he's insane. Well, it's just hearsay, really. So I can't really say that he's good or bad.
I want you to go and visit another patient, a victim of the wonder medicine. I want you to see the real consequences of abusing that medicine. Once you've understood her situation, come back and tell me what you think. After that, I want to ask for your help again.
The wonder medicine. The effects. Hello, lonely woman. Or Chimaru. Yep. You there?
Who are you?
I'm a friend of Dr. Natasha's. I'm a miracle doctor from beyond the sky. Well, not really a doctor, but I am from beyond the sky.
Who? And who am I?
You're a lonely woman. You haven't introduced yourself yet. You're one of Natasha's patients, don't you remember? You haven't introduced yourself yet.
Where's my husband? And where's my child? Where are they? You know where they are, right?
I'm afraid not. You okay? Try and stay calm.
You don't know. They don't know. Nobody knows.
So it gives them amnesia?
Where did they go?
Come over here, child. It's best to leave that poor lady in peace. Let me explain.
The hell is this? Who's talking?
That
Oh.
poor lady. Both her husband and child became ill and passed away.
They must have been seriously ill. And that made her become like this?
Yes. Before her family passed away, she was a carefree young woman. Her husband and child caught a mysterious illness. The symptoms weren't grave, but their livelihood was certainly impacted.
And they took the wonder medicine?
In order to try and rid themselves of the ailment once and for all,
so she didn't take it.
They bought some kind of wonder medicine. Who would have thought their condition would deteriorate so rapidly after they began using it? The two began to suffer terribly, such that death then became a blessing. It wasn't long before they departed this world, one after the other. From that moment on, she became as you see her now. If Dr. Natasha hadn't taken her under her wing, well, it doesn't bear thinking about.
Just sounds like poison. They were unlucky.
Just unlucky? Oh, as far as I'm concerned, those medicine dealers are making money for murder in broad daylight. Who would sell such a thing to the sick? Talking about it tires me out. At least my husband and I are able to help her where we can. I just hope that one day she can lead a normal life again.
Hello. Anyway. So basically it's untested medicine, which caused side effects which killed many people. Yes. I'm back.
Did you speak to her? By the look on your face, I'm assuming you've come to understand the wonder medicine all too well.
Have you tried to synthesize it? The people selling that stuff are devils. Those medicine dealers prey on their weakness. On our weakness.
Yeah. Be it Vash or the Mutual Aid Society, forces like that can take full advantage of the typical underworld state of mind. Let me tell you a story. There was once a brilliant overworld doctor with unmatched pharmaceutical skill.
Vash?
The doctor was set on developing a medicine that would steel the human body against the cold. He named his research project Blizzard Immunity. But his research met with obstruction time and time again, the biggest factor being a lack of test subjects. Tampering with the human immune system carries huge risk, and nobody in the overworld was willing to submit themselves to such experiments.
I see.
As such, the doctor got in touch with his sister in the underworld, claiming that he wanted to support the medical effort below ground.
And then?
Naturally, his sister was overjoyed. After all, as far as medicine was concerned, her brother had always been the standard she'd strive to attain. She brought her brother underground and entrusted him with her clinic and laboratory. I think you know what comes next.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to clarify. I'm sorry that I doubted you before. It's hard to believe that he was your brother.
Issuing free medicine to the needy was just Vash's way of conducting experiments on his test subjects. On some level, his reagents were able to alleviate the patient's suffering, but nothing more. They would forget their pain for a while and neglect their regular treatment plans. The result? Patients with mild illness would attribute their recovery to the so-called wonder medicine, while patients with serious illness would quickly deteriorate, and sometimes die. I cannot accept that their fate was simply the result of misfortune or risk. No true doctor would accept that. That's why I want you to help me recover all the wonder medicine. Are you willing to take on this assignment?
Somebody has to do the right thing. Not my preferred course of action, but...
But it's impossible to sit on the sidelines, right? Thank you. This will be hard for the people that have come to rely on the wonder medicine, but it's up to us to remove this false hope. You mustn't hesitate. Recover every last reagent that Vash left behind. I'll take responsibility for the consequences. Don't worry about that. Go. I'll be waiting for the good news.
So, did she, deal with her brother? Most likely, right? Hey, I'm here for some wonder medicine.
Stop right there. No one's allowed up ahead.
Alright, hand over the wonder medicine. I'm here to buy. I'm just taking a walk. Yeah, I always take a walk here.
In the fragmentum? Give me a break. Wait a minute, you're that clinic woman's lackey, aren't you? Did you think the Mutual Aid Society didn't have its own intel? She's after our medicine and sent you here to smash the place, right?
Not really, just smash you.
Look lively and send this idiot packing already.
With a bat.
Stay the course.
That'll take more than... I'm okay.
Your end approaches.
Gale force.
That's better.
Unnecessary. A blade knows no mercy.
Spirit never dies.
That'll nap time.
Reach
Okay.
the end of the story in your own way.
Here's the stash, huh? They only had 2 people guarding it? The old box has some medicine labeled with experiment numbers. This must be the wonder medicine the Mutual Aid Society was talking about. You suddenly hear footsteps behind you. Sample.
Well, look who we have
Oh, sorry.
here. Your reputation precedes you, outsider. I didn't take you for a bandit and a thief.
Well, I'm just really... who are you? I'm just passing through. I'm just taking a walk.
Oh, just passing through. And our guards decided to just beat themselves into submission, I suppose.
Now that's the fragmentum monsters.
You listen here. I'm the president of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society. The medicine we hold here is lifeblood for many of our members. Are you sure you want to deprive them of that? Those poor patients. Along comes a life-saving wonder medicine only to be snatched away by a shameless bandit like you. The underworld is full of sickness. What would happen if we left it all to that clinic to treat?
Maybe
My
they'll get
Mutual
better.
Aid Society has relieved that doctor of patients at the end of the road. Shouldn't she be thanking me?
Natasha would never give up on a patient. And she'd never work with an imposter like you.
Seems like you are quite bent on dismantling our operations, aren't you?
I'll just take a
seeing
walk.
as you came all this way, it'd be rude not to give you the opportunity. Men, seize the medicine thief.
Stay the course.
The wind is rising.
Bow! From the bow!
That paradise may be unreachable. Savor it for me.
That'll take more than
Yeah!
The fight is set.
Rules are made to be broken.
I'm okay.
As easy as that.
Time for a shot. That's better.
Unnecessary. I will dispatch you.
Blast it! What did we ever do to you? Why are you taking away our moneymaker?
Moneymaker?
No, Natasha's here.
So
Oh,
you
boy.
admit it then. You're not in this to save lives, you're in it to get rich.
That's pretty obvious, but
What are you doing here? Oh, as if we didn't have enough trouble already.
Selling fake medicine with false kindness. You
Snake
should have
oil
expected trouble to
peddler.
find you sooner or later. I have a responsibility to protect the well-being of my patients. Or to put it another way, I must eradicate any and all threats to them.
that's one way
You
to save
can't
them.
save everyone. The underworld is teeming with sickness. How could you possibly pull it off?
You're right. I can't save everyone alone. But if I must, I would sacrifice food and sleep to treat them. The debt that Vash owes to the underworld rests with me. All I can do is help everyone to the best of my ability. To the very end.
So stubborn. In that sense, you're no different from your crazy brother.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Your actions today have saved many underworld families. I'll find a way to dispose of Vash's leftover reagents. Next time the Mutual Aid Society wants to whip up a quack cure, they'll be out of luck.
Didn't they have the formula though?
Let's go back to town. I still owe those patients an explanation.
Thought she was gonna shoot him with a grenade launcher, but yeah.
It's getting late. Where to now?
Oh,
It looks like
like
the
a cutscene.
patients have surrounded Natasha. Let's hear what they're saying.
What are you saying, Doctor? The wonder medicine is out of supply?
Suspicious patient.
Correct. That medicine is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wildfire has cut off the supply chain. Your ailments need rational, scientific treatment. Relying on pseudo-medicines will only worsen your condition.
Rational and scientific, huh? The way I see it, you're just jealous you lost your patients.
Jealous.
How dare you speak to Dr. Natasha like that? Where are your manners?
Ma'am, please think for a moment. How can you still be siding with her? That wonder medicine was working fine for us, and now it's gone because she wants it to be? How can she?
I understand your anger, but as your doctor, I ask you to trust my judgment. I will find a way to access more medical resources and help you through your struggles. If I must, I'll get help from the surface.
The surface. I almost forgot that you were an overworld big shot.
Have some respect for Dr. Natasha.
If it's respect she wants, she better find a replacement for the wonder medicine fast. If not, I'll tell everyone about how she set up Dr. Vash. I'm out of here.
Set up Dr. Vash. I mean, overworld and the underworld are linked again, so it shouldn't be a problem to get resources from the overworld now. Hey, Natasha. Nat.
Oh, you're here. I apologize. That must have made for uncomfortable viewing.
Are you okay? I'd like to straighten out that loudmouth myself. Yeah.
Don't let your emotions get the better of you. If I were in his shoes, I might well have had the same reaction. Now I need to focus on treating the patients and dispelling their doubts. Let's leave it for now. I'll feel a lot better once I've gotten rid of this mess that Vash left us. Now's as good a time as any to tell you Vash's whole story. If there's anything you want to know, don't hesitate to ask.
Is he dead? Was he your biological brother?
No, but
No?
I used to think we were so close that we may as well have been. I, actually grew up in the orphanage. It wasn't until I was adopted by an overworld family that life changed for me. My adoptive mother always saw me as her own flesh and blood, and Vash loved me like a sister. That is while we were still young. My adoptive parents belonged to a prominent medical family. As kids, we were exposed to all kinds of medical texts. When we were older, both of us got straight into Belobog's medical school. We were on a path into the medical profession.
What kind of person was Vash?
He was gentle and introverted. But when it came to work, he could be absurdly obsessive, like a completely different person. Whenever I made a mistake in an experiment, he'd bite my head off. And then a while later, he'd apologize and comfort me. He was conflicted in that way.
Okay. So he knew this medicine was his work?
I didn't know he had leftover reagents in Rivet Town. I was shocked when you told me. If you fail to make a clean break with the past creeps up on you.
Did he really pass away?
That's a long story. Ever since he was little, Vash had always wanted to develop a medicine called blizzard immunity. He saw the human body's vulnerability to cold as a disease, and wanted to cure it so that humanity could survive the eternal freeze. If he succeeded, people would be able to leave Belobog and rebuild their homes in the snow plains.
Yeah, and they wouldn't be assaulted by Fragmentum. Do you share his vision? Brief silence.
To be honest, I never understood how he'd achieve that blizzard immunity. But I do admire that vision and perseverance. I always chose to believe him, ever since I was a kid. I knew his research in the overworld wasn't going well. I used to write to him and ask him to come down and stay with the kids in the orphanage for a while. I thought it might help take his mind off his research. But I was too young to know what long-term frustration could do to a person. It changed him in a terrible way.
Changed him?
During his stay in the underworld, he met patients affected by fragmentum corrosion with mild symptoms. Compared with non-patients, their bodies reacted differently to hot and cold.
I see.
And that fascinated Vash.
Want to turn them into fragmentum monsters?
He began to simulate mild fragmentum corrosion, thinking that it could lead to breakthroughs in developing blizzard immunity.
I mean, if they're already dead.
Those reagents of his aren't cure-alls for critical illness. That doesn't exist. Vash made the reagents to mitigate the suffering of his patients in the short term. A convenient way for him to observe changes in his test subjects. But behind my back, he had been doling out the reagents to residents who were kept in the dark. When it finally struck me that something was wrong, his terrible research had already turned him into a madman.
He'd lost his last shred of humanity. Did nothing seem strange to you all that time?
I trusted Vash with all my heart. Funny, isn't it? And pathetic. When his experiments were exposed, I spent a long time with Oleg discussing how to handle the aftermath. This was shortly before the underworld was sealed off. There were hardly any Silvermane guards remaining. We spent ages trying to find a way to handle Vash. In the end, Oleg suggested that we banish him and permanently deny him access to the underworld. Had his victims found out the truth, Vash would have been torn to pieces by furious underworlders. I was young and weak at the time. Oleg must have worried about how I'd react to such a scenario, or he wouldn't have suggested banishment.
Banishment isn't a particularly harsh punishment. You two did the right thing. Did banish him to the overworld or to the fragmentum?
Looking back, it wasn't. He deserved much worse. Oleg and I took Vash to the overworld. He made his final request to us. To take him outside the city to the snow plains he'd always wanted to conquer. His figure gradually disappeared into the snow curtain. I've been telling myself that Vash is dead ever since. Forgive me. I'm not good at telling stories. Vash was a terrible brother and a worse doctor. That's all you need to know. Let's call it a day. Thank you for cleaning up the mess my brother left behind. Here, for your trouble.
Well, you know how it goes. If you don't see the body, they're not dead. I don't think Vash is dead. That's easily how you get, a part 2 to this. Natasha, doing outpatient run. Sorry to bother you, Cascade. I haven't quite got the hang of this little thing yet. Can you come down to the clinic when you have time? I have some personal things that I want to talk to you about. No problem, I'll come now. I was just there. Thank you, Cascade. When you're leading an organization like Wildfire, it's easy to forget that everyone needs someone to rely on. Thanks for making me have this feeling again. Blizzard immunity. Wait, a follow-up quest? Natasha sends you a message. It seems that she wants to talk about some personal stuff with you. Of course, you won't refuse her invitation. Come me at the clinic when you have time. I mean, I'm right here. Hey, Natasha. Nat, do you have something to ask?
Can I talk to you for a moment? I have a favor to ask. Something rather personal.
Personal? Of course, Nat. I have other things to attend to.
I want to thank you again for recovering the Wonder Medicine. It meant a lot to me. But disposing of Vash's reagents isn't enough to solve the medical supply shortage. Many of my patients can't be seen promptly, and my stock of medicine is running low.
So you need me to go restock?
Thanks to you, the route to the overworld through the furnace core has reopened.
Okay.
I'd like to use it to return to the surface and see if I can get some help.
Help from whom? If you need recovery meds, I've got some in my bag. Yeah.
Funny as always. Remember my adoptive parents I mentioned to you a while ago?
Can see the parents.
After the reopening of the furnace core passage, I had an idea. I wrote a letter and asked Sampo to deliver it to my parents' old address. I didn't have high hopes, but amazingly, Sampo brought me my mother's reply.
Sampo being a gentleman? A rare occurrence. Sampo couldn't have forged it, could he?
No, I recognize my family's handwriting. We are all doctors, after all.
Okay, so it's illegible.
Mom said they still live at the old house, but they're not working on the front lines anymore. They should still have some connections in the medical school and the hospital, though. If I'm lucky, maybe I can convince them to send extra medical supplies to the underworld. Of course, that's not the only reason for me to go back to the surface. I can't wait to visit my parents again, and I can tell from my mom's letter that they feel the same. If possible, I would like you to go with me.
Of course. I won't say no to you.
Wonderful. That's such a relief. I've sent another letter to my mom telling her to find us near Fountain Plaza. Don't worry, I know my way around the administrative district.
Blizzard immunity. I have a feeling
It's
that,
getting late. Where to now?
based on the title of this quest, it might not end so great.
Careful now. Don't get your clothes wet.
Name the plaza after a fountain. Hey, Natasha.
This place doesn't seem to have changed much from what I remember. Oh, there you are. Sorry, I got distracted watching the crowds. Look at the busy flow of people. Life in the overworld carries on as usual, as if nothing has happened. We're a little early. I've got an idea.
You want to fish for coins?
I want to buy my mom a gift.
Oh, okay.
You're more of an overworld local than I am now. Any suggestions?
A flower. How about flowers from Eversummer Florist? How about watching a play at Gold Theater? To Neverwinter Workshop? Yes. Several will have a gift.
Workshop? I'm not too sure about that. Let's see if we have other options. Oh, yes. I remember there was a florist in the overworld. How about we head over that way? I've been underground for so long, I almost forgot what flowers smell like.
Careful now. Don't get your clothes wet.
Maybe I should have suggested the theater. Oh well, whatever.
What should I buy?
A flower.
Eversummer? Was that always the name? Seems I was too young to get the irony back then.
Well, it does look like summer from in here.
Sorry, I don't mean to sound cynical. Maybe it simply represents the people's hopes up here. Now that I think about it, sending flowers is quite the tradition in my family. Mom, Dad, Vash, and I, whenever something good happened, we sent each other flowers to celebrate. Do you want to hear a flower story?
Do I ever? Sorry, not right now. Let's hear one, Nat. What was your mother's favorite flower?
Each year for their anniversary, my dad would send my mom a bouquet of ball peonies wrapped in red paper.
Ball peonies.
I heard that ball peonies represent love that knows no end. It does fit their marriage.
What was your father's favorite flower?
My father is a famous surgeon in Belobog. Because of his fame, people in medical circles paid great attention to his surgeries. He always had a lot of stress to deal with. Each time he finished a tricky operation, my mom and I would buy a single stem of sunshine and then pin it on the chest pocket of his apron. Sunshines represent warmth and love of light. For patients on the verge of death, my dad might have been the only light to penetrate the darkness around them.
Yeah, that flower would have been what they saw during the operation. Well, what was Vash's favorite flower?
Vash. Out of everyone in my family, I think he probably appreciated flowers the least.
Rainbows?
Still, I remember the day he received his offer from the medical academy.
Marquise.
My parents took me to the florist, and we bought him the most expensive marquise stem in the shop. When we gave him the flower, he failed to hide his smile. You can't imagine how hard it was to get him to smile.
What was your favorite flower?
As an orphan, I never knew my birthday. My adoptive parents took me to the overworld and made the day I joined the family my birthday. And each year on that day, my parents would give me a bouquet of first snow. The number of stems represented how many years had passed since I joined the family. I only found out later that first snow represents beautiful memories. My parents gave me a beautiful childhood, and I still haven't had the chance to thank them for that.
I see. Shall we go to the florist? Well, at least she's giving a bunch of children beautiful childhoods.
What should I buy?
You know, the orphanage. Yeah. Hey, Vasca. Alright, what flowers should I pick for Nat? Bouquet of ball peonies, please. Oh. Bouquet of sunshines? Marquise? First snow. Beautiful memories. No, it's definitely a ball peonies.
Oh, ball peonies, is it?
Yes,
One
Vasca.
second. I'll get it ready for you. There you go. Sorry for the wait. Hope to see you again soon.
Ball peony. A very expensive flower. It blooms only once a year for a month. But honestly, the price is completely worth that 1 month of bloom. Hey, Natasha, here you go.
All done? May I have a look? Ball peonies. Nice pick. I wonder if Dad still sends Mom flowers on their anniversary. I knew you'd pick the right flowers. Mom and Dad will be so happy.
Wait, you're giving it to your mom and dad?
Let's go. My mom will be there soon. Best not to leave old folks waiting.
That's re-gifting. You don't re-gift. Damn it, Nat. Now well. Now we know where they live. They live, over there.
Come
No, they're
around
just-
and have a look.
They're just standing around here. They don't exactly live here, but, yeah. Oh.
Mom!
Nat? Nat, is
Vanessa.
that you? Oh, come here, my darling.
Natasha and her adoptive mother share a warm embrace.
It's been too long, Mom. Too long. Sorry. I don't usually get this emotional. How have you been, Mr. Oswell? Thank you so much for taking care of my parents these last 10 years.
Is it the butler?
I'm doing fine, Miss Natasha, just fine.
Yeah, butler.
Look at you. You've blossomed into a fine young woman. Such a pity that your father...
Dad,
Father.
I was wondering where he is. Is he...
Oh no.
It was 3 years ago, Nat. No need to be sad. He passed away very peacefully.
I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. For 10 years, I left you both in the overworld. Mr. Oswell, I'm sorry you had to bear all this weight.
Don't be, my dear. It is my honor to look after your parents.
It's not your fault that they sealed off the passage between the surface and the underground. Don't be so harsh on yourself, daughter.
Oh, Mom. I have so much to say to you.
But, there's an urgent matter that needs your help.
Oh yes, back to
I
that
apologize. I wish this
clinic.
were a happier reunion. But there are too many suffering with sickness in the underworld. You're the only person I can go to for help.
Oh, there's no need to apologize, my child. I've heard of your deeds down there, and I know you've saved many lives. Your father? He would be proud of you. We have many connections in the medical academy. No matter what you need, be it medicine or data, I should be able to get it for you. Be the doctor you always were, Nat. We have all the time in the world to catch up later.
You discussed the details about the medicine supply work in the underworld. She's a great mother. I'm sorry about your father.
It's all right. I was prepared. Although it still hurts to hear it from Mom. With her help, we'll be able to ease the underworld's medical supply shortage. That's good news for patients who'd lost hope. I really wish I could spend the whole day talking to her about the old days. But sadly, now is not the time. Let's head back to the underworld. We need to spread the good news.
Miss Natasha, one moment, please.
Oswald.
Mr. Oswald? I thought you headed back home with Mom. How come...
I apologize, Miss Natasha. As a matter of fact, there's something I have to tell you in person.
Oh,
something that Mom isn't supposed to know?
Vash.
You haven't changed a bit. Smart and sensitive. The fact of the matter is, in the first 2 years after the passage was closed off, I received many letters from Master Vash.
What? Letters from Vash? Are you certain, Mr. Oswell?
Yeah, still alive.
Of course, miss. I recognized his handwriting. You'll see what I mean when you read the letters yourself. Actually, those letters were intended for your eyes only. The delivery address was the underworld, but because of the sealing off of the passageway, the letters were sent back to your old house, to me.
I don't understand. Did you not show them to my parents?
I'm sorry, miss. I opened one of them out of curiosity. Master Vash stressed in the letter that your parents must not know what happened to him. That's why I put the letters in a secure place, waiting to hand them to you when we could meet again. I'm not sure if I did the right thing, Miss Natasha. I just didn't want your parents to feel that their son was so close and yet so far away.
Do you have the letters on you, Mr. Oswell? Let me take a look.
Of course, here. You can tell it's the young master's handwriting.
Natasha, how have you been? I hope you are doing well. I am, as I stated in my previous letter, envious of you. You always show unwavering kindness to your parents. I'm envious of your inherent compassion. I remember giving a speech on stage when I first started school, waving my arms and advocating for the development of blizzard immunity. In hindsight, I was a fool. During my final days of medical school, I became increasingly stubborn and withdrew into myself. Experiments and ambitions consumed my heart, and the patients who were supposed to be in my care were progressively ignored. Natasha, I dare not beg your forgiveness. I owe the people of the underworld too much already. I might have spent the rest of my life as a madman, wallowing in my convictions if you hadn't agreed to my desire for self-exile. The cold has revealed to me my arrogance. How can a child who grew up in warmth ever begin to comprehend a cure to bitter cold? Thank you for giving me one last chance to discover the answer. I live in abandoned houses under broken roofs and continue my experiments. One step after another, I've made breakthroughs. I'm trembling,
Not because of the code, but because I can feel I am getting closer to the answer I seek. I've become a pariah, unable to return to civilized society nor to face my parents. But I didn't despair, because I discovered the meaning of my existence. I had a feeling I was on the right track. The reagents I developed in the underworld have a serious flaw. The medication only addresses the issue of organ hypothermia and failure, and it would be caught in a never-ending vicious cycle of consumption and recovery. I should have changed the focus of my study a long time ago, and tried to figure out how to raise the temperature of the organs and of the body in a controlled manner. Natasha, thank you very much. You helped me find the missing piece in the development of blizzard immunity.
Don't tell me he turned himself into a blaze out of space, didn't he? Okay, So he still
cold
kept
has
up with
revealed
his,
to me my arrogance. How can a
research.
child who grew up in warmth ever begin to comprehend a cure to bitter cold? Vash didn't give up on his research into blizzard immunity.
Nope.
Even after he left the city.
He was too obsessed.
I live in abandoned houses under broken roofs and continue my experiments. One step after another, I've made breakthroughs.
How to get food and water.
I'm trembling, not because of the cold, but because I can feel I'm getting closer to the answer I seek. If what's in here is true, then Vash must have built a lab somewhere in the snow plains, and even made progress in his research. But how can that be?
Yeah, how can that be? Do you believe it? Maybe he went mad.
There'd be no point in him lying to me in the letters. Still, it's possible he may have gone completely insane before he started writing them.
Oh, before.
I need to leave the city to recover my brother's research data. Are you willing to come with me?
Sure thing. It's dangerous outside the city walls.
This young lady is right. Danger is everywhere beyond the walls of Belobog.
I know, Mr. Oswell, but I have a hero with me. She saved the underworld. I'm sure she'll protect me, right?
Well, Sally's not here, actually.
Vash, it's been so many years. Are you still alone in the blizzard? Oh, ignore me. I'm just talking to myself. Let's go. It's time to face my past head-on.
I have a feeling he turned himself into a monster. Alright. He's been living by these, bastards.
Such harsh cold. It's hard to imagine anyone surviving in these conditions. Unless blizzard immunity is real. Let's hurry up. We need to find any clues that Vash may have left behind before both of us become ice sculptures.
Maybe I don't need to fight. Just try and go around. Oh. I can crawl in.
Here, this looks like lab equipment. Maybe Vash left it behind. Huh. Still, it's all just used test tubes, beakers, and other vessels. There's no sign of any sample reagents or lab notes for that matter.
Well, it's been years. Maybe things were too harsh here for record keeping? Maybe his memory is too good for lab notes. Yeah. He never had any lab notes, just remembered it all.
Oh, I know my brother. He's meticulous when it comes to medical experiments. There's no way he wouldn't document his results. I want to go deeper into the snow plains. Can you press on any further? Gosh, the temperature keeps getting lower, but we can't give up halfway.
Trailblaze protects me. It's you I'm worried about. I can warm you up if you'd like. Oh. Yes.
Oh, that's very kind of you. But don't you underestimate the leader of Wildfire. Let's press on then. This may not sound like me, but I hope that deity the architects worship can grant us some luck.
I suppose she isn't exactly the person. Oh, Rash's letter. Oh, wait. It's this letter. And I can't move. Oh, there we go. Ah, it's supposed to come from this way. Oh, it's done. What are they doing? Preventing me from going further?
Outside the walls? Hey, you two! Stop right there!
Hello.
That's a Silvermane guard. Is he yelling at us?
Yes.
Oh, I'd almost forgotten. No one can leave Belobog without authorization. Looks like we need to talk our way out of this.
Or fight. Explain your identity and purpose to the patrolling Silvermane guard.
I can't say you sound suspicious, but I can't just take your word for it either.
Is that Lance just hovering there? I think he's supposed to be holding it. Oh, well, whatever.
Captain, look at her necklace. Maybe she's telling the truth.
It's the same as Dr. Vash's.
Dr.
My brother does wear an identical necklace. Do you know him?
Are you really his sister? Dr. Vash saved a lot of my soldiers.
Saved your soldiers?
Yes. Take a look at the guards patrolling outside the city. All of them are risking their lives. Aside from the monster-related casualties, we lose men to frostbite every year. But thanks to the medicine the doctor leaves us, my soldiers are able to withstand the cold. They can make camps in the snow plains as footholds for our patrols. If it weren't for the doctor, we would have long since frozen to death.
Medicine. Blizzard immunity.
So it did work. Where is Vash now? Is there enough for all of you?
The medicine is extremely potent. A small vial can keep someone warm for a week. We have over half our stock left.
Can we have some?
Dr. Vash is elusive. My squad only met him once, and he didn't seem like the talkative type. He leaves the medicine at specific locations.
Dead drops.
And our patrols go there to collect it. Speaking of the doctor, it's been a long time since we last saw him. At least 2 or 3 years. I hope he's alive and well.
Not alarming at all.
So he really did have a breakthrough in the snow plains.
2 or 3 years.
Oh, did the medicine have any side effects for you?
Side effects? Not that I know of. If there were a problem, it'd be that we couldn't go back to the city until the effect had worn off.
Because the city would be too hot for us. We'd break a sweat just sitting idle.
Thanks for the information. We're planning to head deeper into the snow plains to find my brother.
Seems like you've made up your mind. I'd really like to send some of my men with you, but we can't leave our posts. Here, take this medicine. If what you two told me is true, I'm sure you're more than capable of handling yourselves out there.
Thank you, Captain. We'll take it with us.
Oh, I guess Natasha has it. Solid water.
Come on, then. Come on.
And we got ourselves a trotter.
Spirit never dies.
This is our chance.
I will dispatch. The fight is set. That paradise. Savor it for me.
To the cloud.
Let's make it quick.
A blade knows
Point using.
A delicate operation.
Wait, what? That's an ice out of space. It shouldn't be him. Unless he never used it on himself. No, he has to use it on himself. He has no other test subjects.
Hold on. That's a big guy over there.
Yeah, it's very big.
Did you see that? There's something on the monster's back. Oh, the blizzard immunity. Shall we drink it? It's your call.
Let's drink the blizzard immunity. Let's not drink it. It's time to fight some enemies. Let's drink it. I imbibe everything. Oh, I can actually walk here.
I'm ready. Doctor's got your back.
He didn't seem hostile.
Can you feel it? It seems like Vash's medicine is working. So warm.
well timed.
Yes, but this is Vash.
Your end approaches.
The wind is rising.
From the bow!
Stay the course. To the cloud.
Fail to center. That paradise, savor it for me.
Spirit never dies.
Just a little something.
I will dispatch.
Gale force.
Time for a shot.
Unnecessary. Fail to center.
This is our chance.
Not each other nap time.
Stay the course.
Ah, shit. Well, whatever. Hey, it worked out.
It's done.
Yeah, and he's dead.
Oh, it was my first time seeing you in battle. You've got some moves, don't you? No wonder you were able to save the underworld. Let's have a look over there. My gut tells me we should find something connected to Vash. These are records of his experiments. It's Vash's handwriting. This must be the location of his final lab.
Why is it zooming out?
Come have a look. His last experiment was nearly 2 years ago? What happened after that? Huh. His notes seem to suggest he was working to improve blizzard immunity. Brother, where are you? What happened?
Let's call it a day, Nat. It's time we headed back.
Sorry. I needed to take a moment. After seeing the letters Mr. Oswald kept for me, I was hoping things might have ended differently. I shouldn't have asked you to come with me to such a dangerous place.
You miss him, right? What is your feeling towards Vash? Seems like she doesn't like him because he did all the bad things in the underworld, but now she misses him because he's still her brother. Well, except a non-biological brother.
He was my family.
Yes.
And someone I used to look up to. I can't forgive him for what he's done. Nor can I say I don't miss him. Maybe I should feel glad. The medicine might not have been what he wanted it to be, but it came to something. Maybe he found some inner peace.
Too bad his victims won't ever share that peace. People will remember Dr. Vash, in a good and bad way.
They'll remember him as a murderer, as someone whose evil experiments brought great harm to the innocent. Vash doesn't deserve to be remembered as a doctor. I know that very well. But maybe this blizzard immunity can now bring benefit to others, even if it was made by a monster. Human beings really are conflicted life forms.
Yes. What now?
I'll take his records and data with me and continue what he started. One day the world will see a perfect blizzard immunity.
No, you're going to continue his
leave,
research.
I'd like to ask for another favor. The last one, I promise.
I doubt it. Fulfill Natasha's last request. Doesn't sound so morbid. Anyway. She gonna bury her necklace here? Something? You and Natasha put up a headstone for Vash. Oh.
That should do. Hope it can withstand the snow.
Hope someone doesn't kick it over. You have to put an epitaph on the headstone. Otherwise someone like me can come around and kick it over. Is Vash worth you doing all this for him?
I don't know. It's just something that suddenly occurred to me. People write things on headstones, right? Let me think. Here lies Vash, my brother. That'll do. Thank you for helping me. I feel like a great weight has been lifted. So long, brother. Hope you don't forget Dad's teaching. A doctor does not get to choose his or her patient, my children. Remember, never say no to those who come to you for help. Never.
Yay, Natasha has become a visitor. I got kindling. The blizzard can't put out all warmth. The final kindling rises from below the earth. The outskirts here are quiet. Don't see no headstone. Oh well. Judging from the time that we have left, I think I'll save Ancestors Drill Bit and this should be Hook's character quest for next time. And for now, I think I'll just go to the parlor and read some books. The Tale of the Winterlands. That's what's on the agenda. Oh. Might need to get myself some hydration if I'm going to read this. Still missing so many books. Blizzard Immunity Lab Records. Oh, I haven't read these. Part 1. Animal Experiment Number 2. I carried out a broad-spectrum animal injection experiment. The animals all appeared to grow more active, but the dose needs to be adjusted because the 2 snow finches have been screeching non-stop for 3 days. I couldn't sleep at all. It is absolutely the right decision for me to come to the snow plains to conduct the experiment. I do not have to deal with those cretins on the ethics committee, nor do I have to produce those so-called daily reports. Why would I waste time writing so many words when 2 phrases can adequately explain the experiment? Animal Experiment Number 14. Several controlled experiments with mice have been conducted, and it appears that the route of administration impacts the rate of medicine absorption, with preliminary findings indicating that intraperitoneal injection is more effective than subcutaneous subcutaneous injection and oral gavage. Shock symptoms were observed in the intraperitoneal injection group, indicating that the injection dose should be further reduced. Human testing should also be expedited. I was hesitant to experiment with these mice because they remind me of the ones Natasha had as a child, despite the fact that I've been much more productive here. The limited supply of the test subjects remain a major issue. There's a guard outpost to the south. Perhaps I can trade with them. I'm running low on firewood and oil. Subcutaneous injection experiment number 1. A subcutaneous injection was given into a vein on my right arm, and I had a severe allergic response that included vomiting and dizziness within 12 hours. But the medication's effectiveness on the human body was confirmed. For the following 50 hours, I didn't feel cold. Maybe just numb? I've made little progress on the report since I've been experiencing numbness in my fingers for the past several days, and I'm wondering if it's a side effect of the subcutaneous injection. The swelling and rashes on my back and arms have subsided significantly. Next time I'll try a more stable formula. Part 2. Injection Experiment Number 12. After the final injection experiment, I had a significant rejection response in my stomach as well as an intermittent sudden dip in body temperature after a slow climb. I need to improve the experiment stability and possibly try a safer route of administration, such as oral administration. Lately I've been practicing writing with my left hand because it appears that I can no longer control the muscles on my right hand. I shouldn't have been so impatient. Coughing and dizziness continue to bother me occasionally. It's been 17 days since the last time I suffered shock symptoms, and the medicine should be much more stable now. I haven't eaten rabbit stew in a long time, and I have been craving it, so I'm going to ask the guard captain how to make traps the day after tomorrow. Oral administration experiment number 3. My body temperature stayed consistent during the 30-hour observation period, with intermittent symptoms of coughing up blood and asthma. The specific cause is still unknown, but it is likely related to drug residues and a high concentration of non-metabolizable substances. Maybe I should try a different targeting agent? I'm not sure if I put the dates correctly because I've been waking up in the middle of the night for days. I just noticed a lack of control on my shoulders and neck, requiring me to sleep with a high pillow, but will eventually spread to my brain. Oral administration experiment number 7. Several guards have provided competent feedback, and the medication's effect can now last for nearly 5 days. My vocal cords appear to have suffered irreversible damage. Therefore, I've been unable to talk recently. Next week, I'll be sending the most secure batch of reagents to the guard outpost. I really appreciate their assistance. If my legs feel better tomorrow, I'll go trim the grass at the back of the house. I shouldn't bother the guards anymore. Well, he was there, but he's not anymore. And, he did the self-experimentation, which, most likely cost him his life. Chapter 2, Frozen City 3. This is Tale of the Windlands. Continuation. After walking through the Frozen City's Hall of History, Artem arrived at the reception room, where he was greeted by Delmir as he waited for the Queen's summon. The two hit it off right away, and Delmir shared his true reason for being here. He was searching for a companion to return to the Lava Kingdom, with to soar into the skies together. Artem was once again blown away. His mind was like a drumhead, repeatedly pounded with new information. Leave the ground and head for the skies? Each day the world that Artem knew was repeatedly challenged by novel technologies, unknown histories, and distant, mysterious nations. Just as he thought nothing else would be able to surprise him, the man in front of him invited him to leave the land using a cannon powered by a volcano. He had no other choice. With all due respect, I refuse. What? I thought you'd be more adventurous than that. I was certain you would agree. Those are two completely different issues. Going to a far and unfamiliar nation or climbing to heights never reached before may sound crazy to some people. Those feats are all within human logic and understanding. Using a volcano to launch yourself into the sky, that's just suicide. After a short exchange, he bids his farewell to the adventurer from the volcano. Maybe it's not that ruthless of an idea, young man. It took but a few steps when a commanding and soothing voice came from the side. Only now did Artem notice a woman in expensive clothing staring at him from not too far. Based on what she was wearing, Artem immediately realized who it was and bowed. The woman smiled back. Oh, the queen. May I ask you a question, adventurer from Belobog? Why did you embark on this perilous journey? Perhaps restlessness runs in my blood. Artem pondered for a moment, then shook his head. Perhaps life is too peaceful in Belobog. We hide in a greenhouse and listen to the preaching of the speakers day after day. Soldiers guard our borders, stopping monsters from entering our city and preventing our people from leaving. If you work hard, you don't have to worry about food or shelter. But every day is the same. Life is peaceful without any changes. People are afraid of an unstable future and losing the life to which they've grown accustomed. Belobog's history is hundreds of years old, but nobody has ever truly left. I don't want to read the same newspaper every day. I don't want to cover my eyes and ears and pretend the world is the size of our city. I want to know if I can survive a life that's not so peaceful. The woman smiled. It seems you are born in the wrong place. You are different from the other Belobog people I know. There have been other people of Belobog who arrived here? That was over 100 years ago, and it ended regrettably. Fortunately, the Frozen City relocates constantly, and the disaster of war was avoided. Artem was listening to the words coming out of the woman's mouth in shock. You mean to say Belobog and Frozen City almost went to war? From then on, we have been weary of all visitors from that country. The woman raised her hand to stop his questioning. As you can see, the Frozen City is not built from unchanging ice. It is built from water, free of prejudice. Man must be judged like a gem, by being examined from all sides. I have heard Anna's description of you. We have read about your adventures, and now I have seen you. By the standards of the Frozen City, you are a remarkable man. Thank you for your kind judgment, Your Majesty. Artem lowers his head. Let's return to the topic at hand. I asked you before why you embarked on this perilous journey. Your response proved your wish to be free of constraints and live a life without a mundane routine. Frozen City, Lava Kingdom, you have heard and seen many wondrous things that most people can only dream of. But this city is bound to the skies. just as Belobog is bound to the land. Do you understand what I mean?
I understand, Your Majesty. I just have a hard time believing that people can fly through the air, Artem murmured. I thought only birds could do that. Can't tell if Delmir's invitation is suicidal madness or an adventurous gamble.
Is there any difference between the two? The spirit of adventure is a precious quality that goes against the humankind's natural survival instinct. It may seem worthless, but it is this spirit that allowed the people of the old world to reach unimaginable heights. Strictly speaking, adventures and explorations are part of the heritage of the old world. You wouldn't be able to see what the frozen city looks like if you had decided to live peacefully behind the Belobog walls. Delmir was not lying when he mentioned this Satelladon. It is a miracle, located so high up that it's invisible to the naked eye, left behind by the old world civilization. People have long forgotten what it was like nowadays. The Queen sighed regrettably. You've walked through the snow plains in search of ancient relics, all so that you could obtain the old world heritage. The way back has already been covered in snow, Artem. The only way is forward, for you and for the frozen city, as it always has been.
I'll take that into consideration. Artem mused for a bit and let out a long sigh. I will go talk to Delmir. Suddenly the Queen's face turned stern.
I don't mean to persuade you, young Artem. Impulse will take you on adventures, but that alone will not take you to the ends of the earth. Regardless of what you choose, I have a gift for you.
The Queen extended her hands from beneath her cloak. She held out a 1 cubit long wand to Artem. The wand was forked in one end, the shape of which resembled a double-headed eagle.
Young Artem, we do not bow here in the frozen city, but as a token of respect towards the wisdom of the old world, kneel down on one knee. Bow, not to me, but the old world.
The Queen took hold of the wand. Suddenly, liquid began to flow over the surface, forming a bluish ice blade. She turned the blade with incredible speed and touched Artem once on each shoulder and on top of his head. Artem felt the ice breathing and jumping on his shoulders.
May your path be clear, your luck persist, and your courage prevail. This blade's technology comes from the old world. I present it to you, Knight of the Frozen City. To the sky, it is but a needle. To the earth, it is but a tool to cut through obstacles. But to you, it is the courage to move forward in the face of danger. Go now, Artem.
Very nice. So you got knighthooded. Anyway, Water Prison. Chapter 5, Water Prison. 1. Continuation in this chapter. Artem and friends discovered an altar that can be used to directly communicate with the giant monster, spring-wheeled, and found out the entrance to its lungs. But what they found when they arrived in its lungs is an old-world rainforest with severe flooding. Artem and Duke dived into the water to find out the reason behind the flooding, but was attacked and dragged into the depths. As Artem slowly woke, a mysterious feeling ran through him, as if he was freed from the weight of his body. He felt light, and the prolonged slumber provided a miraculous sense of security, just as what infants felt when they rest in the water of their mother's womb. Okay, a bit too descriptive. He slowly regained consciousness, but the drowsy feeling remained. Artem recalled the last thing that happened before passing out. He struggled to return to the surface as someone was dragging him down deeper into the water.
He held out as long as he could before finally running out of air. Did I drown? There was no time for Artem to figure out what had happened because knowing what was going on was more important. He was completely submerged in water. However, there was not the slightest sense of grasping for air. He turned his wrist and confirmed the flow of water between his fingers. Then his body began moving upwards as he started kicking his legs. Bam! His back hit the bars of the metal cage. The sudden pain made Artem swear out loud, but knowing that he was still alive put his mind at ease. Are you awake, Mr. Artem? A familiar voice came from behind. Artem swimming towards the sound. Artem discovered Captain Duke and the iron bars in the water between them. Captain Duke, you're alive as well. Where are we?
We've been captured by the underwater residents.
So that's how I passed out.
No, you passed out because you were holding your breath. Haven't you noticed? We can breathe in this water.
Artem suddenly understood. He was only alive because of this mysterious water. When he was a medical student, he learned that it was possible to breathe in water if enough oxygen was dissolved. It seems their conversation warranted a response from the nearby guard. A boyish figure swam past their cage, dressed in tights with a harpoon in his hand. He banged hard on the iron bars with the harpoon, producing strong waves that sent Artem back.
Shut up. This isn't the place for chit-chat.
The guard wasn't playing around.
Where else would you breathe besides in the water, you fools? Come take a look at this.
The guard pulled on the net in his hand. The thing he was dragging floated slowly into sight. There were white, transparent, sluggish worms. At least Artem thought they were worms, for he had never seen anything like them.
Do you know where these bugs came from?
Artem and Duke looked at each other and shook their heads.
Heh, useless creatures. I thought you two would know something.
These are bugs?
I know, but I have to call it something.
The guard suddenly remembered his position and struck the iron bars again.
Silence! Don't talk to me!
After a brief moment of silence, Artem asked the guard. It doesn't look like he has any internal organs. Maybe it's not a living organism?
It chases people as if it has eyes. Who cares if it's living or not? Snorted the guard. When the body is split open, it releases a liquid that can dissolve people. You also can't breathe in the polluted water.
Polluted water? Duke added coldly.
So instead of attacking them, you built this huge underwater prison?
So you're the clever one. That fool beside you keeps asking stupid questions. Yes, 200 layers of the prison below you are filled with these bugs.
The guard's tone suddenly became serious.
We must continue building the prison to survive.
Artem tried to see the water below him. His eyesight was not as good as Duke's, but he could make out the staggering number of cages beneath him, where countless white bugs were indeed being held. However, the water was so deep that he could not see the bottom, only a deep abyss. The rising waters could have already crushed the insects near the bottom with sheer pressure, leaving only the smell of death in the abyss. Artem seemed to understand the real cause behind the flooding in the lungs of Spring-Weald. The constant appearance of bugs and the expansion of the prison made the water in its lungs rise higher, leaving less room for oxygen.
This prison wasn't meant for the two of you.
The guard banged on the iron bars again.
You can help us find out where these bugs are coming from. We can let you out of here. How about it?
What if I told you we were actually from above the water surface? To be continued. Wait a minute. Where's Water Prison 2? Ah, shit. Oh well. Lava Kingdom 1, Chapter 6. Continuation. In this chapter, Artem and friends arrived at the last stop in their voyage, the Lava Kingdom. Loud buzzing noises emerged from the distant lava and boulders, responding to Delmir's signal flares. A gigantic insect suited in plated armor arrives before them. It was their ride to the Kingdom of Cannons. Artem originally didn't have any negative feelings toward these invertebrate annelids. They've noticed the flare. Look, that's the molten insect. It's here to bring us home. A sense of joy and pride can be noticed in Delmir's tone. Here for us? Another gigantic insect? There's too many bugs here. The gigantic earthworm-like bug stood roughly 2 meters tall and 20 meters long. It continued to squirm as it was parked and waited to be boarded. Numerous layers of petal-shaped scales covered its circular muscles. The scales were coated in a special layer of fine black granite sand, which looks to be made of part secretion and part lava. Artem was reluctant to board this worm and stood still. What's wrong, Artem? This is not as strange as the bugs back at the spring wheeled. Let's go, Artem. Anna followed after Delmir. An old man was standing above the rings of muscle. He was holding a long pole in his hand. In his other hand was an iron hook, holding onto something like a bridle. He jumped off the back of the giant bug with style. The old man spread out his arms and embraced Delmir. It was clear that they weren't just acquaintances, but great buddies.
Hey, Delmir!
President Barbicane, you came to see me?
Surprised, are you? Quickly introduce me to your adventure companions.
Hello, I'm Anna.
Hello, Anna. I'm Barbicane. This girl is adorable.
Barbicane, seeing that Artem hadn't moved, walked towards him, shouting at the top of his voice.
You young lad over there, come quickly. We're heading back to the Lava Kingdom.
Artem, seeing the old man limping over to him and grabbing his hand, reluctantly followed. Hello, I'm Artem. After climbing on the huge molten insect, it was as Artem had feared. The metal armors on its back didn't fit well on the worm. There was nothing Artem could hold on to, except the arms of the seat. He clamped his legs tightly to keep himself from falling off this loose carapace. There was the sound of an electrode at the end of Barbicane's pole as he looked back at the people seated behind him.
Off we go!
The giant worm squirmed with the shock from Barbicane's pole. With the rhythmic contractions and relaxations of the ringed muscles, the worm moved forward faster and faster, sitting between Anna and Delmir. Artem thought this was a marvelous way to travel. The distance between them changed slightly every time the worm's muscles relaxed and contracted. Without a doubt, there was some unexpected advantages to this special mode of transportation. The large worm and its armor can be compressed to a certain extent, allowing it to crawl through the tunnels. It can go around some smaller volcano vents and also climb on rock walls that others would have to circle. Barbicane used complex static signals to control the worm, and the worm made some delicate maneuvers of its own. And two of them were like parts in a well-oiled machine, achieving some impossible movements together. Artem also noticed the unique way the large worm dissipated heat. A sticky liquid would flow out from the small reticular holes in its armor. The burning sand would then fall off its carapace, while new clay and sand would stick to it, and the fresh liquids, thus taking away the heat from the armor. How incredible! As the journey continued, Delmir and Barbicane's conversation about the Lava Kingdom grew more interesting. According to Delmir, half of the adventurers in the Lava Kingdom loved building cannons, while the other half loved adventures. Barbicane is the president of the Lava Kingdom Cannon Development Committee, a fine example of how obsessed they are with cannon technology. The only thing they could boast about was the size of the cannon or its firing range.
In our committee, people respect you based on the might of your cannon. Delmir is only interested in making flintlocks. I'm not interested in that.
Hey, I'm a professional adventurer.
President Barbicane's boorish laugh gave everyone around him a sense of kinship. He was missing an eye, and one of his hands and one leg were replaced by metal prosthetics. It wasn't until he turned to talk to Delmir that Artem noticed part of his skull was also made from some kind of silicon.
What happened to my skull? I lost a chunk of it when the cannon blew up, but it didn't turn me into a slow thinker.
As Artem got used to the bumpy ride, he finally had time to enjoy the sights. There were many volcanoes of varying sizes, all looking like they were about to burst. Lava and magma were everywhere, and Artem felt scorching hot just looking at them. Any normal human would think the environment was just too harsh. He wouldn't be completely inaccurate to say this place was hell on earth. The black volcanoes, smoke-filled skies, red lava spewing everywhere. Who would have imagined there'd be a country here focused on the scientific research of cannons?
It's been a long time since any adventurers returned. I've asked our cooks to prepare a celebration feast tonight.
Artem was excited that there would be a celebration. Only Anna, who had been watching the volcano in the distance, seemed to be preoccupied with something. The banquet hall was full of people from the Cannon Development Committee and the Explorers Guild. President Barbicane's passionate introduction of the three of them was met with thunderous applause. Artem knows something. Everyone was missing a body part, whether it be an arm or a leg. Some of them even had a rubber chin or a platinum nose. From Artem's perspective, it was a miracle that Delmir's body was completely intact.
For years now, our Cannon Committee has been planning the greatest Cannon event, one that's worthy of our ancestors. Everyone is aware that the greatest volcanic activity in history is coming. Viva the volcanoes!
The banquet hall filled up with loud cheers once more.
We'll bravely shoot ourselves into outer space, risking our lives for the greatest adventure the world has ever known. Viva the outer space!
The whole banquet hall shook as if it would collapse at any moment.
Positional observations from Delmir's journey have allowed us to track the Satelladon. I am pleased to announce that we can now reach it with complete certainty using cannon.
Many people were shocked at the announcement, evident by the sudden silence in the hall. Then it was followed by cheering and applause that couldn't be suppressed, even if all the cannons in the banquet hall were fired at once. Artem sneaked away from the crowd of people in the banquet hall. He saw Anna looking out of the window at the quiet volcano in the distance. Beside her, it was sparkling wine they had brought from the spring wheel.
Anna. Artem, don't say anything. Can you come here for a moment?
During their adventures, Artem had witnessed Anna's extraordinary tenacity 1,000 times, but now her voice sounded like a distress signal, pleading to him for help. Her soft breaths seemed to be conveying a desire to make him stay. It made Artem want to embrace her from behind.
What's wrong? If you go to outer space, will you ever come back again?
Perhaps. There probably won't be volcano cannons in the Satelladon.
Artem.
Anna turned around and her face was flushed as if she had cried. At that moment, the sounds from the banquet hall faded away and the whole world fell silent.
I miss home. Will you come home with me?
And we know that he won't. Because final chapter is Satelladon. Part 1? Where's part 2? God dang it. Continuation. In this chapter, armed with the conviction of never returning, Artem and Delmir will ride a cannonball of the old world into the sky. The impact factor of the volcano cannon was not included in the original designs. The cannonball instantly reached a shocking speed upon firing, leaving everyone at the launch site speechless. Is this really going to be okay? From the inside, Artem and Delmir had to withstand 10 Gs of crushing force. They were almost smashed by the power. Yeah, but what was the acceleration? Dang. Artem lost consciousness the split second upon launch, and the memories of the dangers on the snow plains appeared in his mind. His lulled state did not last long as he woke himself up with impressive conviction and mental discipline. After experiencing the near-death moment, Artem immediately noticed the importance of the shock reduction capacitor in the flying pod. Without it, he'd already be dead.
Delmy, on the other hand, was having a much harder time. His eyes were rolled back and white foam was coming out from out of his slightly open mouth. Is he passed out? Or is he gone? Artem called for him over the radio several times, but Delmir did not respond. Not only could the approaching space be seen in the porthole of the cannonball, but so could the distancing ground from beneath. The spectacular view unfolds rapidly in front of Artem's eyes. The familiar sights quickly shrink till it becomes unfamiliar. The numbers on the instruments continue to climb, with no sign of slowing down whatsoever. Artem was still unaware of what was happening, even though everything pointed towards the same conclusion. They were leaving the planet at shocking speeds. They were 5,000 meters off the ground. Artem could still see the buildings of the Lava Kingdom, especially the main cannon that fired the cannonball. The launch caused a massive landslide, reducing the main volcano to a billowing cloud of smoke. At this height, the large molten insects were impossible to see, and the lava on the ridges looked like spider silk web. The bright colors that scorched the eyes had softened considerably. The volcanic ash in the air sped by quickly as the ground slowly became a blur. 10,000 meters off the ground, Artem could see the spring wheeled. At the height of tens of thousands of meters, Artem could barely see the back of the beast. Even so, he had not seen the monster's entire body. Such a giant beast. It was an indescribable feeling to have a panoramic view of the roads he had taken on during his long adventures. Artem traced the route he had once taken on, saw through the snowy plains, and looked at the blizzard. The frozen city was within the quickly passing clouds and snow, and he could barely see its outline. Anna once said she would go fishing with her father to relax at the end of long adventures. How would she relax this time? Thin clouds began to obstruct his view, and thoughts of escaping came back. How long has the cannonball been flying? They flew higher until they reached the darkness. Balabog loomed over the dark land. Thousands of lit houses were only the size of a coin, but Artem knew that it was Balabog. The urban heat island effect stood out against the surrounding chill, which was more evident when looking down from the clouds. It was this warmth that had sustained Balabog for 100 years, but it also prevented its people from going outside. Compared to the size of the planet, Balabog was but a speck of dirt. Artem once thought that Balabog and its surroundings was the entire world. Thinking back now, it was just the unwillingness to admit his narrow perspective. At this height, anyone would agree that such a narrow perspective was laughable. 100,000 meters off the ground, Artem could clearly see the curvature of the planet. The great auroras started appearing. The brilliant ribbons gently covered the surface of the planet. Back in Balabog, Artem had gazed up at these streamlike veils, fluttering in the night sky. Now they were below him. It was at this moment that static came through the communication device. Artem, we are in the sky, It was Delmir screaming from earlier. Artem really didn't know whether to laugh or cry. 400,000 meters off the ground, Artem could see the Satelliton. There was a large cylindrical object rotating slowly. Artem had heard of science fantasies that the effects of gravity could be simulated through rotating centrifugal force. He brushed it off as mere fantasy until witnessing the miracle before his eyes. The excitement was overwhelming, so I assume it looks like the Citadel from Mass Effect. 2? It's 2? I don't know, whatever. I wonder how many people from the old world will react when they see this cannonball. Fear? Surprise? Will they be treated like invaders and face retaliation? Soft music began playing in the cannonball. There was a mix of drums and guitars that made you feel warm and cozy, like a gift at the end of their journey. Distant cosmic radio is calling. distant cosmic radios calling. As the cannonball got closer, Artem could make out more details of the Satelladon. If the interior was spread out, Satelladon would be a large rectangular area. The opposite sides of the area would join to form the cylinder. Anywhere you stood, you could raise your head and see the streets hanging above. In the streets, many buildings violated physics. The mechanical giants appeared to be connecting the building blocks by combining various modules. Neatly planned streets kept adjusting their positions. To Artem, the whole city was breathing and pulsing like a living organism and rotating as a Rubik's Cube. It was constantly evolving, showing ultimate rationality. As an immaculate work of art that had long been abandoned, Satelladon was floating alone in the universe, awaiting the gaze of human admiration. As if sensing the cannonball, the large object extended a docking port of the same astonishing proportions, like a giant extending its hand at a flying insect. Artem's heart clenched out of fear that the last moments of his journey would end in a fiery collision. But the disaster he imagined didn't happen. The docking port gently held the cannonball and guided it to the landing pad in Satelladon. The music was still playing gently on their communication devices. I climb the ladder to the stars and walk in the gallery of outer space. Insomnia awaits the galaxy tonight. Well, apparently that's all of the Tale of the Winterlands. I did not miss anything. It's just leaving things to the imagination, I guess. Alright. So that's all good. So next stream, I will do Hook's quest and Molly's quest. Maybe they'll finish off Eurilla 6. Yeah. So, yeah. See you guys in the next one. Yeah, Peach. What's this? Oh, I gotta collect money. I need money. Alright, Peach.